Hello, I am Pramod Kumar. Today our subject is accountancy. Our chapter is accounting for share capital. And we have divided this chapter in 6 parts. Part 1 we have already covered. This is the second part, part 2 of 6, right? In this part, we will discuss nature and classes of shares like preference share and equity shares, then issue of shares, right? So we directly go to nature and classes of shares. Uh, what are shares? Shares are units into which total share capital of a company is represented, right? Shares are units into which total share capital of a company is divided, right? Suppose a company has decided to issue 10 lakh shares, right? It means maximum 10 lakh shares they will be issuing and they will raise 1 crore rupees, right? It means one share will be for 10 rupees, right? So what is share here? Number of shares is 10 lakhs and authorized capital they are saying we can raise up to 1 crore. So these shares are units, 10 lakhs units into which total share capital of this particular company is divided, right? It forms the basis, this forms the basis of ownership interest in a company, right? Suppose I am going to hold 1000 shares in this company. It means I am having ownership interest of equivalent to 10,000 shares in this company, right? What does it do? It forms the basis of ownership interest in a company. Ownership interest, how much I intend to propose to own this company through having shares of this company, right? Then authorized capital, we have already discussed what is authorized capital. Authorized capital or registered capital or nominal capital and number of shares are mentioned in the memorandum of association of the company, right? But class of shares, their respective rights and obligations are mentioned in the articles of association, right? Authorized capital or nominal capital or registered capital and number of shares, they are mentioned in the memorandum of association of a particular company. Whereas class of shares, what are the class of shares? Preference shares, ordinary or equity shares. Class of shares, their respective rights and obligations, they are mentioned in the articles of association of the company, right? As per Companies Act 2013, as per the Companies Act 2013, a company can issue two types of shares: preference shares and equity or ordinary shares. Equity shares are also referred to as ordinary shares, right? So what are preference shares? One category is preference share, other is equity or ordinary share. Preference share carries preferential right to dividend. We get dividend, periodic dividend from the company in which we have invested and bought shares of this company. Preferential share carries preferential right to dividend to be paid before any dividend is paid to equity shareholders, right? The name itself, the terminology itself is preference shares, and other is equity or ordinary shares, right? So preference share carry, what do they carry? They carry preferential right. Preferential right for what? Preferential right to dividend to be paid before any dividend it pays to equity shareholders. It cannot happen that equity shareholders are being paid dividend and preference shareholders are not being paid dividend, right? So preference shareholders have, what do they have? They have got preferential right over dividend to be paid before any dividend is paid to equity or ordinary shareholders, right? With respect to capital, preference shareholders, with respect to capital, when we talk of capital of a particular company, it carries or will carry, on winding up of the company preferential right to the repayment of capital before anything is paid to equity shareholders, right? First we talked about dividend, right? So they will have a right to dividend payment before any dividend is paid to equity shareholders. Regarding dividend, right? Then with respect to capital, it carries, preferential shareholders carry, or they will carry on winding up of the company. If there is a situation where the company is going to be wound up, winding up of the company, preferential right carry or will carry preferential right to what? To the repayment of capital. When the capital is repaid in which they had invested, to the repayment of capital before anything is paid to equity shareholders. Once again, preferential treatment in case of dividend also, preferential treatment in case of capital also, in case of winding up of the company, right? Preference shares can be participating or non-participating, right? They can be cumulative or non-cumulative, redeemable or non-redeemable, right? All the three. Preference shares can be participating, non-participating, or they can be cumulative, non-cumulative, or they can be redeemable or non-redeemable, right? Now, what about equity or ordinary shares? Shares which are not preference shares are equity shares. Shares which are not this are this, right? And they are entitled to share distributable profits. Equity or ordinary shareholders are entitled to share means share among themselves, enjoy a share of whatever distributable profits of a company after satisfying dividend rights of preferential shareholders, right? This one, share which is not a preference share is equity or ordinary share, and equity shareholders are entitled to share distributable profits of company after satisfying dividend rights of the preference shareholders. After satisfying the rights of these, they will get a share of the distributable profits, right? Dividend on equity shareholder shares is not fixed. Dividend on equity shares is not fixed. It may vary from year to year. One year it may be 1%, another year it may be 2%, still another year it may come down to 1% or whatever. They are not fixed, they may vary from year to year, right? Because preferential treatment is here. If anything is distributable, first it will go to them, right? Then what happens? Dividend on equity shares is not fixed, it may vary from year to year depending upon amount of profits, available for distribution, right? Amount of profits available for distribution. Equity share capital may be with voting rights or with differential rights to voting. This may be, here what did we discuss? Preference shares may be cumulative, non-cumulative, redeemable, non-redeemable, participating, non-participating. And in case of equity shares, what happens here? Equity shares may be with voting rights or with differential rights to voting and dividend or otherwise, right? Now we go to issue of shares. How do companies issue shares for raising capital? Capital of a company can be gradually raised over a period of time. As we have discussed in part 1, it's not necessary for the company to raise entire authorized capital in one go. It may raise up to authorized capital in phases over a period of time depending upon its financial needs, right? So, capital of a company can be gradually collected from the shareholders as per the financial requirements of that particular company from time to time, right? First installment is solicited along with the application form, and that is called application money, right? Second installment generally is called at the time of allotment of shares, and that is called allotment money. The remaining amount could be called through first call, second call, or you may say third or last call, right? So first amount may be called along with application form, which is called application money. Second, along with allotment, which is called allotment money. And then it could go like this, at first call, second call, third or last call, like this, right? The company may raise depending upon its financial needs, financial requirements, under no compulsion to raise in one go, right? Company may call full amount at the time of application also. The company may call full amount at the time of application also. It may not go for gradual calling of that amount, right? So what are the important steps that a company follows for raising capital before issuing of shares? First of all, it issues prospectus for its potential investors. So it gives full information about the company, what are its plans, what are the needs, how does it need to meet through equity and through debt, and what are the number of shares it is going to issue, what is going to be the nominal value or whatever. Full details are available in the prospectus which is issued to the potential investors. Then based on the prospectus, potential investors apply. Then the company goes into the receipt of applications, right? Receipt of applications. After examining all the applications received, the company goes for allotment of shares. There could be a likelihood that the company wanted to issue 1 lakh shares, but they got applications for 5 lakh shares. So what will the company do? It will cancel 4 lakh applications for 4 lakh, it will cancel, and it will allot 1 lakh shares as per its plan, right? Allotment of shares. Then shares are issued in 3 ways, right? At par, at premium, on discount, right? So what is at par? If a share is issued at its nominal value, it is called at par. At par means, what does it mean? At par, issued price is equal to nominal value. Issued price is exactly equal to nominal value, right? Then at premium, what happens then? What happens in premium? As the name itself suggests, premium, issued price is greater than nominal value, right? Then at discount, then whatever over and above the nominal value it gets, that is called premium, right? At par, issued price is equal to nominal value of the share. At premium is equal to, it means issued price is greater than nominal value, and by whatever amount the issued price is greater than nominal value is called premium amount. Suppose nominal value is 10 and issued price is 20. So 10 rupees is the premium. 10 rupee nominal value, 10 rupee premium, issued price is 20 rupees, right? At discount, what happens when a share is issued at discount? Issued price is less than nominal value of the share. Here, nominal value is 10 rupees, issued price is 10 rupees. Here nominal value is 10 rupees, issued price is 20 rupees. Here nominal value is 10 rupees, issued price is less than 10 rupees. Right? So it is at discount. Right? Now, whatever may happen, or irrespective of a share being issued at par or at premium or at discount, the company raising capital is under liberty to raise full capital in stages over a period of time depending upon its financial requirements at different stages of time, right? So we can try to take 5-10 minutes. Capital is contributed by a large number of shareholders, and shareholders are the real owners of a company because they contribute capital. So to the extent that a shareholder contributes capital, to that extent he or she owns that company, owners of the company, right? Since the number of shareholders is very, very large, it is not possible for them to manage the affairs of the company, nor is it desirable. So what do shareholders do? They elect a board of directors to run the affairs of the company as per the provisions of the Companies Act 2013, right? Then features. We were trying to discuss the features of a company. A company is an artificial person having corporate legal entity. It is a corporate, it is legal established under laws of the land, and it is an entity as any other company is an entity. And this corporate legal entity is distinct from its members, means shareholders. They are different, they are separate, they are not the same. Since it is an artificial person, it cannot sign like me and you. So it needs a common seal. So every company has a common seal for a fixation of its signature. Then it is a body corporate. It's a corporate established, right? It's a separate legal entity. It has got limited liability. And it has got perpetual succession. Whether a member falls sick, goes away, dies, becomes insolvent, becomes insane, the company keeps on going. Perpetual succession. It doesn't stop. Right? Common seal. It has a common seal for the purpose of its signature. Transferability of shares. Shares of the company are transferable from one to the other, to still another. A company indulges into a number of contracts, agreements. So in any contract there could be circumstances where some default is there, either on this part or on that part. So a company on that behalf, on that account can be sued, or it can also sue others. The company can sue the other party, or it can be sued by the other party, right? And the types of companies, what are the kinds of companies they can be? Companies can be, we can know the kinds of the company based on two parameters. One is liabilities, another is number of members. Based on liabilities, there are three: companies limited by shares, companies limited by guarantee, unlimited companies. And based on the number of members, public company, private company. Share capital contributed through share capital account. Since number of shareholders is very large, individual accounts for each shareholder cannot be maintained. So there is a common single account, share capital account of a company, through which all the streams of shareholders are routed through. Right? Then what are the categories? Categories are authorized or nominal or registered capital. Then another one is subscribed capital, called up capital, paid up capital, reserve capital. And what are the nature and class? Nature and class are shares are units into which the capital of a company is divided. Right? Total share company of a capital of a share company is divided. It forms basis of ownership interest in a company. If I am having 5% shares of a company, shares of a company, I contribute 5% to the share capital of that company, and to that extent I am the owner of that company, 5%. Right? Authorized capital of a company and the number of shares are mentioned in memorandum of association of the company. Whereas class of shares, their respective rights and obligations are mentioned in the articles of association of the particular company. As per Companies Act 2013, a company can issue two types of shares: preference shares and equity or ordinary shares. Equity share is also called as ordinary shares. So what are preference shares? Preference shares, they carry preferential right to dividend to be paid before any dividend is paid to the equity or ordinary shareholders. That is with respect to dividend. Now with respect to capital. With respect to capital, it carries or will carry on winding up of that particular company preferential right to the repayment of capital before anything is paid to the equity shareholders. Preference shares can be participating, non-participating, cumulative, non-cumulative, redeemable, non-redeemable, right? Now equity shares, shares which are not preference shares are equity shares, simple. Shares which are not preference shares are called equity shares. Equity shareholders are entitled to share distributable profits of company after satisfying dividend rights of the preference shareholders, right? Dividend on equity shares may vary from year to year depending upon the profits available for distribution. Equity share capital may be with voting rights or with differential rights to voting, differential rights as to voting, dividend or otherwise, right? Issue of shares. Capital of a company can be gradually collected as per the financial needs of the company. It's not necessary that the company raises entire authorized capital in one go. It may raise depending upon its financial needs, financial requirements over a period of time. First installment generally is along with the application, that is called application money. Second installment generally is with allotment, that is called allotment money. And subsequently thereafter we have first call, second call, third call. If the company is not raising everything in the beginning, at the start, right? It may happen that the company calls up entire amount at the time of application itself, right? So what are the important steps a company follows before issue of shares? First, it issues prospectus which contains full details for the potential investors in the company. Then it receives applications. After receiving of application, it goes into the process of allotment of shares. And shares are issued at par, at premium, at discount. When they are issued at par, issue price is equal to nominal value of the share. There is no change. When they are issued at premium, issue price is greater than nominal value of the share. And when they are issued at discount, issued price is less than nominal value. And when at premium, the difference of issued price minus nominal price is called premium amount, which goes to the remains with the company, right? But irrespective of whether a company issues shares at par or at premium or at discount, a company is free to raise capital in different stages over a period of time depending upon its financial needs, financial requirements. There is no bar that it should raise capital in one go, entire authorized capital. It may not, depending upon its financial needs, financial requirements, right? So, what are the things we studied? We studied introduction, features of a company, kinds of companies, share capital of a company, categories of share capital, then nature and classes of shares, preference shares, equity shares, issue of shares, right? I hope you found it easy to understand. In case of any difficulty, you may please approach me on my email ID, which will be there at the thumbnail to the video, right? Thank you very much.